Is 5 minutes a lot? Actually, when you do something very interesting, it's like a drop in the sea. But when you are waiting in the line, for example, it feels a lot. But when we look at 5 minutes quite objectively, we, I think, all realize that it's quite little amount of time. But what if I told you that 5 minutes can change your life? 5 minutes a day, of course. Well, 5 minutes usually don't change the life, but sometimes they do. But here in this channel, we talk about like routine and habits. So by doing something just 5 minutes a day, you win big through small steps using routine habits to get in flow. Any big change is a group of tiny steps, several minutes that add up and create the compound effect. First, you might not see any result at all, but if you are consistent, you have the power. If we go back to James Clear's Atomic Habits, it says in the book that if you get better 1% each day, at the end of the year, you risk becoming 37 times better. Can you imagine? I'm not a mathematician, so if you know that it's not true, tell me in the comments, but it sounds logical because small choices plus consistency plus time equals significant result. If big life shifts scare you like a normal person, perhaps these small actions can help. And they truly are the ones that I started several years ago, and now I'm so glad I did. 5 minutes of morning yoga. Maybe sometimes you notice that when you do sports, you kind of feel better and happier just mentally a lot. This actually has a scientific background. The thing is that sports releases endorphins in your brain, and endorphins are tiny neurochemicals that play an important role in your body. Your body releases endorphins naturally in response to pain or stress, but also during other activities like eating, exercising, or having sex. You want to be happier? There is no magical pill, honestly. There's just some exercises that you've got to do each day in order to feel happier. It already sounds like a lot of benefits, but it's not all. Studies show that mindful movements like Tai Chi, yoga, or Qigong, I have no idea what this is, so educate me in the comments, were reported to improve sleep quality and were often accompanied by improvements in quality of life, physical performance, and depression. Maybe some of you here know how I'm obsessed with sleep and the quality of it, so I think it's a great contribution to your sleep if you have problems with it. As habits are more easily added when you stack them, you can also start doing the meditation after yoga. I don't do this actually every day, but I still sometimes find it very useful to calm myself down and to find the place of peace for myself. The 5-minute rule. I think many of us can agree that the most difficult thing in productivity is to start. I sometimes procrastinate so much, but as soon as I start doing something, it actually interests me a lot. But what if I let myself do this thing only for 5 minutes? Like 5 minutes and that's it, and I can stop. But what I noticed that although I got and set for myself only 5 minutes to do the job, I tend to find enough motivation for myself to continue doing what I do, even though in the beginning I didn't want to. Yes, occasionally I stop doing what I do after 5 minutes pass, but first, it happens quite rarely, and second, I still did something for 5 minutes. It is still a tiny action that can become a great result in the end. A tiny bonus is that this action, this hack, shows you whether or not you are in the resourceful state. Because if you cannot concentrate well, if you cannot do the job more than 5 minutes, it means that you are simply tired and you need a break. Don't let a simple act of starting to do something prevent you from doing something. Only start hitting the like button and you will see how in a second this video will be liked by you. Thank you! Take 5 minutes to write a to-do list for the next day. Bedtime worry, including worrying about incomplete future tasks, is a significant contributor to difficulty falling asleep. In the recent study, 57 adults were assigned to either write their to-do list for the next morning or write down the things that they accomplished that day. The assignment was random, and this is what they found. The study suggests that spending 5 minutes a day writing a to-do list for tomorrow can help you fall asleep faster than writing what you accomplished that day. Anyway, writing down something like journaling has a lot of benefits for you, and especially I find it very beneficial for myself to write down a to-do list for tomorrow, because this way I will have some sort of intention for tomorrow and meaning of the next day that helps me wake up faster. Also, coffee helps wake up faster. But is coffee good for you in the morning? I share this on my Patreon page. If you're interested, check it out. Take at least 5 minutes to prepare for sleep. You can do anything, even the smallest thing can count, like unmaking your bed, listening to music, meditating, having a shower, or just mindfully taking off your clothes. This all can contribute a lot to your evening routine. Don't expect your body and your mind to just doze off as soon as you turn off your phone and jump into the bed. Your body needs to prepare for sleep, and you can start with just 5 minutes a day. Personally, I meditate right before going to bed, and it helps me a lot. In my newsletter, where I share a lot of tips for mental health, one of the subscribers kindly shared that she's got an anxiety and it always seems worse at night. This only shows the overall tendency. There are a lot of people who suffer from anxiety, and this anxiety gets only harder when you try to fall asleep, because this is the time when your brain has some time finally, not triggered by anything, and it has time to think, and to think a lot, and sometimes to overthink. So, do you want that? I guess no. You want to prepare for your sleep and find out what's the best evening routine for you. By the way, if you also would like to subscribe to my newsletter, I will share the link in the description by which you can do that. Go to bed 5 minutes earlier each day. Did anybody doubt that this will also be about sleep? Statistics show that almost half of all Americans say that they feel sleepy during the day between 3 and 7 days per week, and 35.2% of all adults in the US report sleeping on average for less than 7 hours per night. That's the sleep deprivation sign. And I know how difficult it is to try to go to bed like 1 hour earlier or even more. It's not sustainable. I suggest you trying to go to bed only 5 minutes earlier. Do this every day till you start going to bed at the decent hour. If you would like to support my work and receive additional exclusive content, I invite you to my Patreon page with vlog, podcasts, life updates that I share there. Go ahead and enjoy my last video, which was about things that I don't buy or own in order to reduce anxiety. And have the most wonderful day. Goodbye!